and Sally have fairly turned their house upside down, getting it ready for you. They can hardly wait to see. Mary Elizabeth. Yes?
Hi, Mr. Fuller. My name's Cartwright. Hoss Cartwright.
Joe's brother?
Yes, sir. The sheriff told me I might find him here.
No, he's not here. Look, won't you come? You're a long way from home.
Yes, sir.
Did your father come with you?
No, he got called out of Carson City. I'm alone. The sheriff tells me that I gotta get your permission before I can talk to Candy. Is that a fact?
Well, yes, that's just a normal legal precaution. He's appointed me as attorney.
Yes, sir. You ain't got nothing against me talking to him, have you?
No, of course not. I'll go with you. Mary Elizabeth, we have a visitor. I have to go out for a while. It's my daughter, Mr. Hoss Cartwright.
Have a reach, ma'am.
My daughter's heading east very shortly. Yes, she'll be going to school in the east. Staying with my sister up in Maine until she makes up her mind which school to grace. Good night, my dear. Mr. Cartwright? After you.
Jed Wheelock ordered 15 head of horses by telegram. I drove him through town. I drove him out to his ranch. He accepted delivery. We agreed on a price, $50 a head. He asked me to meet him in town at the bank the next morning.
Wake up!
So I did. And he gave me $500. I said, you too.
Wake up!
He said, no.
Give me that
10 head
link.
of horses at $50 a head is $500.
No going to sleep.
I said, 10. I delivered 15.
It's raining.
He called me a liar.
That's
what I did. How many times are you going to go over his story? You talked about it all
fire.
night long. It's daylight.
I can't.
What are you doing here? I got your telegram.
I've been riding 2 days. We got tired of waiting for word, and boy had to go to Carson City, so he sent me along.
Joe, where you been all night?
I went out to Wheelock's ranch
What'd you want to go out there for?
because I wanted to check on Egger's story.
I already checked it. On the night of May 29th, there was a full moon. Eggers could have seen Candy.
If there wasn't anyone there when I was there, how many times do I have to tell you that?
Oh, Candy, what did happen out there? We was
Boss, I've been over this and over this.
one more time for us.
But I was still burning. He owed me $250, open and above board. So I went out to the ranch, and I told Jed he better pay me the money then and there, right? Well, I threatened him. You know, the kind of things you say when you're mad. Well, he just sniggered at me. Told me to go ahead and shoot.
Oh,
Well, I've never shot first in a fight yet. I wasn't about to start then. I called him some names, hoping he'd draw. He just stood there, laughing. So I got on my horse and I rode out.
just like that, huh?
Well, I know it sounds funny, but I was scared I might kill him. The next morning, I got on my horse and I rode out of town. It was 2 or 3 weeks later before I even knew he was dead. That's the truth. I leave it with you. Do you believe me, Mr. Fuller?
Nope.
You don't have to convince me. You have to convince the jury.
No.
I'm disappointed your father didn't show up, Cartwright. How come? He figured our little town was too small to bother with? But he could send his boys to handle us.
No, sir. He got called out of Carson City.
I bet he figured you boys could ride in, straighten out the trouble, and ride right out again. Well, it's not gonna be that simple. Where you come from, you might not have heard of A.Z. Wheelock, but here I'm the big frog, and when I
Ew, a
cook, the little
poop
frog's
car.
all hot.
Go.
Sorry about your son, Mr. Wheelock. We came here to help a friend. I'm sure you don't object to that.
This is my town. I don't like strangers butting in.
In
But
other words, everybody's supposed to just sit back and watch an innocent man hang, huh?
No, that cowboy's gonna have the best defense possible.
And then he hangs.
I didn't say this Candy was guilty. His own actions done that. Well, that fight he had with Jed in front of 100 witnesses. He was seen coming out of the house where Jed was shot.
Mr. Wheelock, your son wasn't the most popular fella around town, was he?
He was envied because of me. There wasn't any real harm in him.
Well, according to Candy's story, your son cheated him out of $250.
My son's not alive to give his side of it. How would your pa feel if it had been you or your brother?
Well, I guess he tried to turn the whole town upside down to find the truth.
Well, there you are.
And that's exactly what we're gonna do. To prove Candy innocent. Good night, Mr. Welling.